Having tried unsuccessfully to start a new business in the Far East, William returned to his native Brighton. When he left, he had been glowing with happiness, full of ambition, and his accounts were bursting with financial resources. Now he was more like a beaten dog. Deep depression and apathy had turned him into an unmotivated man who wanted for nothing at all. His wife, Claire, had weathered the incident more calmly. Putting aside dreams of a sweet life, she pulled herself together and quickly found a job with an average salary. However, there was a price to pay. Claire had to work 12 hours a day, and with commuting she was spending 14 hours away from home. The only thing she wanted to do in the evening was wash up and go to bed. Naturally, her husband received no attention from her. William, meanwhile, sat at home for a long time doing nothing. The only person who tried to bring him out of his state of detachment was his mother-in-law, Laura. Laura, who sheltered her daughter and son-in-law during their difficult times, underwent significant changes herself. First of all, these changes affected her appearance. The woman lost 15 pounds, which allowed her to look fresher and younger. She began to wear clothes that emphasized her slim figure, and once again felt confident in herself. "You're so smart, Mom. What's your secret?" Claire admired her mother. "Thank you, Claire. A little of everything. But mostly it's proper nutrition and yoga," Laura replied, her tone humble yet proud. "I thought yoga was just some nonsense that had nothing to do with sports. Something spiritual and nebulous," Claire remarked skeptically. "No, you're wrong. Yoga is not a sport, but it is not easy to practice without good physical fitness. The exercises themselves can help you lose weight and get in shape. You should try it," Laura suggested thoughtfully. She spoke with such conviction that Claire thought for a moment, but quickly dismissed the idea, knowing that she herself lacked discipline. Yoga had become an integral part of Laura's routine, and she had no intention of changing it. Even with the arrival of her daughter and son-in-law, Laura's workouts were something of a ritual. She preferred to work out with little or no clothing, finding it more comfortable and freeing. However, after Claire and William moved in, she had switched to wearing tight leggings and a sports top, which she found unusual and a little uncomfortable. Nevertheless, she remained disciplined and strictly adhered to her workout schedule. As usual, Laura turned on the workout video and immersed herself in the exercises. William, who had been wandering aimlessly around the apartment, paid attention to her workout for the first time. He was amazed at the capabilities of her body. The sight of the slender and athletic mother-in-law caught his attention. Her graceful movements combined with her trim figure made an impression on him that was hard to shake off. Over the next few days, William's curiosity grew. Each time Laura went about her usual business, William settled nearby to observe. He pretended to be busy, but he couldn't resist casting a glance at her. On the 7th day, unable to restrain himself, he approached her after the session. "Laura, you're amazing. I've watched your sessions several times and have been shocked at how challenging they seem. And the results are outstanding," he said. There was genuine admiration in his voice, but there was also a hint of something more. "Thank you, William. That's very kind of you. Why don't you join me? Let's get you in shape too," Laura suggested with a smile. Her enthusiasm was infectious. No, I wouldn't dare. I'm afraid I'd embarrass myself," William replied hesitantly. "Don't be afraid. We can start with something simple and progress from there," Laura encouraged, her tone soft but persuasive. "I'll think about it, but I think I like going to the gym better," he said tentatively but intrigued. "Suit yourself, but my offer stands," Laura said with a smile. Her words echoed in his head long after the conversation was over. That evening, William mentally revisited that conversation. The next day, he began an active job search, determined to ease Claire's burden a little. He spent hours writing resumes and sending out applications, feeling a newfound sense of purpose. On one trip into town, he ran into an old business acquaintance, Charles, who was surprised to see William in such a state. "Come to my office tomorrow, and we'll work something out. Your mind is too sharp for ordinary office work," Charles said. His words planted hope in William, who felt a surge of gratitude. The invitation energized William and pleased Laura, who was looking forward to studying undisturbed. After William left for his meeting, Laura decided to treat herself. She shed her tight workout clothes and stretched out on the mat in her favorite outfit. The freedom of movement reminded her of why she loved yoga so much. To her surprise, William returned much earlier than expected and burst into the apartment with good news. He found Laura in the middle of stretching, her body taut and graceful. The sight made him speechless for a moment. Overwhelmed with emotion, he ran up to her and hugged her tightly. "I found a great opportunity. Things are finally looking up," he exclaimed, his voice filled with relief and excitement. Laura smiled warmly, feeling the unfamiliar but pleasant thrill of such closeness. "This is wonderful, William," she said quietly. Her heart was racing, but she kept her composure. The embrace lasted far too long, triggering thoughts neither of them had expected. When they pulled away from each other, Laura asked, "Do you think we made a huge mistake?" William, still in euphoria, replied, "No, I'm just thinking about how I can combine work and your training." Laura laughed, her thoughts already wandering into a world of possibilities. She thought about how much her life had changed since they had moved and couldn't help but wonder where this new chapter might lead.